Feel Good workout. It is officially 5 years since the March 2020 COVID pandemic. I realized this morning that my amazing mother-in-law, who is now 77, and I have been doing these workouts for over, well, 5 years. It's pretty amazing. So to mark that, I'm actually going live on my Instagram today to remind everyone that these workouts take place. They are streamed live on my YouTube channel at Feel Good with Lavina, where everything is saved. There must be hundreds there saved for you and your loved ones. And I'm also streaming on my Zoom community, where I have an amazing community of people in their 70s, 80s and 90s, and we've even had a 100-year-old from a care home join us. My goal is to help everyone move, to make exercise accessible. If you'd like to join us on Zoom, where I do talk to all the participants at the end, we have a wonderful community. Just sign up to my free newsletter on my website and I will send you the Zoom link. I also have a WhatsApp group where I communicate session reminders. We go through my whole Feel Good fitness prescription today with my amazing mother-in-law. She will demonstrate everything seated. I will demonstrate everything standing. They're all low impact exercises, perfect for the elderly, seniors, anyone recovering from injury, care homes. My goal is to get into every care home as part of their fitness program. Anyone that may be feeling hormonal, perimenopausal, menopausal, just lacking a little bit of energy, or anyone seated too long, I want you to take away exercise snacks that you can use in your daily lifestyle when you're sitting too long. So we're going to get started. All you really need is a chair if you want to stay seated, or if you're working behind your desk and join in with us. You have a selection of weights. We often use things like tin cans, plastic bottles, safe household objects, which I've been using since the start of the pandemic. If you don't have a resistance band, you could use a pair of old tights. Anything with a bit of stretch, even a gown tie or a belt could work for some of the exercises. So there really is trying to break all the barriers to exercise. So we don't need to have fancy equipment. You could be in your kitchen, living room, bedroom, like a lot of my amazing community I can see on Zoom right now. Just join in and let's start feeling the benefit of movement. So let's get started with a moment of breath work. This is how I start all these workouts, because it's really important to calm the body and mind, get us ready for our workout. And as you know, in my book, The Feel Good Fix, I have a whole section on mind snacks, mental health. We're going to do a mindful minute today, just a minute of deep breathing to really kick in the parasympathetic nervous system. So I welcome you to have a little seat, maybe something new, and maybe close your eyes. Just relax your body and mind. I want you to try and breathe in through your nose and exhale through your nose or your mouth, whatever feels good. Sometimes letting out that long exhale and a big sigh and maybe a shrug of the shoulders as well can release any tension. And we're just going to talk through a really simple breathing. It's called the coherent breathing. We're going to breathe in for about 5 to 6 seconds and exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. It's got some amazing science that you can read up in that breath snack in my book. So let's close our eyes and breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your eyes closed. I just want you to have a little moment just to check in with yourself. I feel calmer, more relaxed. That's the power of our breath. And I want you to keep your eyes closed, maybe rub your hands in front of you, generate some heat in those hands, and then place those lovely warming hands over your closed eyes. And then when you're ready, take a positive inhale, open your eyes just with your hands there, let some light in, and bring a smile to your beautiful faces. Breathing in, exhale, let the hands go. And just let me know how you feel in the comments. YouTube, Zoom, Instagram, do you feel better? That could be part of your feel good toolkit anytime you're feeling anxious, stressed. Now, I'm giving you an option here to get your steps in from indoors or from wherever you are. You could take this workout out into your garden. If you're seated, it's a simple marching on the spot, maybe a little bit of impact on your feet. So we're going to be talking about bone health, heart health, muscle health, brain health, all the different areas that exercise can help, as well as blood sugar management. But you can do this while I'm talking, and I do like to explain the science. You know how passionate I am about explaining the health benefits, not just how we look, but physically and mentally. Some of my amazing participants who've been joining me for the last 5 years, yes, I can't believe it's been 5 years, you could even add a little bit of weight in. Tin cans are brilliant. They're just a nice accessible weight. And you could do these anytime you are sitting on the sofa. So we're starting to warm up, but what we're going to move into is my actual mobility snack. So it's really important that we keep our joints and muscles nice and supple, nice and mobile, keeping that synovial fluid around the joints so they stay lubricated. So let's start with our head. You can do this seated or standing. We're going to do my desk reset snack, which has its own snack in the book. This, if you don't know it, is probably one of the best snacks, easiest things you can do. It takes a second. From being like this, where a lot of us are sitting with technology phones, iPads, working from home, we're going to imagine a desk shape with your shoulders. You're going to bring them up an inch or two, back an inch or two, and down. So it's literally that desk shape. I want you to, whenever you see your desk, think about doing this. You're going to bring it up, back, and down. Now, isn't that great? You feel like your posture has been corrected. We're preventing the rounding, the kyphosis of the spine. I want you to draw your belly button in towards your spine, keep your core engaged, and then we're going to start drawing some lovely circles with our head. So here, just easing out any tension. Try and breathe through. We've just learned about our importance of breath. So try and tie that into the movements that we do today. And then turning the other way, just 3 or 4 that side, nice and slow. Giving yourself some self-love. This feels so good to me. I hope you're enjoying it too. Easing out any of those tense areas and relax. We're then going to go placing our hands on our shoulders. You could do this seated, obviously, if anyone can't stand. We're going to draw big circles with our arms, breathing in and out. I wish Instagram, YouTube, you could see my amazing Zoom community right now with their cameras on. They are so inspiring. I have people that have been joining for so many years, and some of them have had, you know, quite severe health conditions, but they're still here. They're still trying to get that movement in and then change directions. We're going to draw those big circles. This feels so good, especially when I hear about joint pain in women my age going through the menopause, perimenopause. It's very common, but especially as we age and with our sedentary lifestyles. My mother-in-law is here. We're then going to add in Pranam. How are you? We're matching tops today. Thank you. Lovely to see you. We're going to do arm circles. So let's just see how your rotation is. You can do alternate arms, just swinging them back, seeing how it feels. I'll demonstrate seated. Mummy's going to do standing. Then coming forward, using your breath. How does it feel? We're just waking up the body, getting it ready for our amazing workout where we cover cardio, strength training, of course. I want all ages to be doing some strength training. We're going to be covering balance and stretch as well as this mobility and relax. Now this is a nice one. You're going to stand or sit. I'll show you the standing option. We're going to place our hands on our waist and we're just going to start drawing circles with our hips. So if you're seated, Bummy, or I'll show seated, you're going to do that with your torso instead. So you're just going to come forward and round. How does that feel? So you're drawing big circles. You want to try the standing option? You're drawing circles all the way round. Try and do your desk reset snack throughout. So little posture check, circling around. Mummy, I just told everyone we're on Instagram today because we have been doing these for 5 years now. Can you believe it? 5 years of these workouts. So it's a little bit of a celebration in March 2025 that you have continued to inspire so many people and join me on these. So thank you so much. We will give her a round of applause at the end on our Zoom chat as well. We're then going to do either a bit of balance work, which you know is to reduce your risks of fall. So make sure you've got support, either a wall or something sturdy. Mummy, do you want to stand up and do the balance in between the chairs? If you're seated, you're going to lift one leg up, start engaging those muscles, and we're just going to start working our hips as well. So a few little hip circles. Here, I want you to try and keep your torso and your stomach nice and still. So you're just working that ball and socket joint in your hip. If you're balancing, please have support. If you're able to balance without, obviously this is more advanced. You're going to hold your core in, back straight, maybe 5 one way and 5 the other. If you are standing, this is really great to correct muscular imbalances because I can really feel it on one leg that is really taking my body weight there. And then you're going to swap sides for me. If you're seated, you can do them seated. Again, I can really, sorry, I kept those weights there. I can really feel it here in that hip, ball and socket joint, which gets tight when we're sitting too long, even with stress. And seated, I'm lifting my legs so I can really feel my muscles to start engaging. 2 and 1, relax there. How are we feeling? While we're doing a little bit of balance, I'm going to get you to stay where you are, Mummy. You're going to do your balance snack now. And you know how important balance is. There's various balance snacks in my book. There's targets by your age, but we're just going to go for a simple 10-second balance because that has great science behind it in terms of our longevity. So we are going to try to do 10 seconds. If you want to do more, please do. If you're seated, you're just going to go hold a leg out. We're just going to engage our muscles as a leg extension. Try and hold it out. Stay strong. Keep breathing. If you're standing, you could progress. Obviously, in time, you could try and do it without holding on. Mummy, make sure you've got support. If anyone does yoga, join me. We're going to go for 10, 9, do what you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. I do encourage you to do it when you brush your teeth because there it's tying these exercise snacks onto existing habits. It's become normal for me to literally do it for about a minute. So that's why I can balance pretty well these days, I would say, but don't worry if you're having an off day. Other side, when you're ready. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax there. If you are able to do 10 seconds, please let me know in the comments. And the reason why 10 seconds is really important is explained. The studies are all in my book. This is all backed by science. So I am talking, and this is your chance to get your steps in, like I said, active recovery. Obviously, if some of you can go a little bit faster, you can. If you want to just slow down the pace, that's fine. If you want to add in your tin cans, you can. And when I was talking about our bones, a little bit of impact is great for our bones. We always focus a lot on muscle health, like I always do with strength training, but our bones and muscles are so intrinsically linked that I want you to think about a little bit of impact. So almost we could slow it down. Can you hear my feet? Now, don't do this if you have any pain, if you have severe osteoporosis. Please always consult a health professional and do what you can. But here I'm trying to get a little bit of impact, Mummy, on my feet to build those bones, to really get them to repair, replenish themselves. And it's great to add a bit of impact exercise. So thinking about our bones, we're going to do a little focus on bones. We're going to do a little bit with our heels as well. So another good exercise that you know I love, if you're seated anywhere, is calf raises, these little calf push-ups. We normally do them up and down, but I want you to think about, if you can, pushing your heels down this time. A little bit of impact. Now you could do these standing, holding on to something for support, lifting up and dropping down. So here it's slightly different to the normal push-ups that I say, because here, can you hear? I want to get a little bit of impact if you can. If you're worried about your bones or if it doesn't feel right, just do the normal calf raises up and down, because you know how great these are to absorb and balance your blood sugar levels. These are some of the hacks, the things that I say, move after meals. If you can't get out for a little feel-good walk, you could be doing these after your meals, you know, sitting on the sofa 10 to 15 minutes. And it's amazing what this soleus muscle does to absorb excess blood sugar, to help us reduce risks of things like type 2 diabetes, but also to balance your mood, your energy. I feel it when I've eaten something really heavy, that your blood sugars will naturally go up and down, but you can try and minimize that big roller coaster that sometimes happens after a big heavy meal. How does that feel on your bones? Yep. Okay, because mummy had osteoporosis, but you still have osteoporosis, but it has got so much better through your leg strengthening exercises, which are saved on my YouTube channel, 10 minutes. So that's one. Another one I want you to think about is whether you could add a little jump. So I'm showing you seated. How does that feel? So almost like our skipping. You could pretend you're skipping. If anyone wants to try a little jump up standing, please. This is something I normally don't do on these low impact workouts, but I'm thinking a lot about bones, and it's really connected to the big areas where we typically get fractures, obviously our hips. And there's a great study about hopping, something that I'm able to do, not all of you will be able to do, but hopping or just some impact exercises, even if you can do, I think it's 50 hops a day on each leg. There's a study to show how it can really reduce fractures in your hips. So I don't want you to do too much, mummy, yeah? You're just a small hop, maybe holding on to the side of the chair, or if it's something new, you try it today, you listen to your body. If it doesn't work, there's lots of different options. Just marching. So when you're out, when you go for your little walks, which I encourage you to do, even if it's in the garden, if it's up the stairs, start thinking about the bone impact. So this is where I wanted to have a little bit of focus today on our bone health and give you some options. We're now going to do a little bit on our knees, because mummy has recorded with me a 10-minute daily knee exercise snack on my YouTube channel. It's in the popular workout playlist. But we're going to do a little bit for our knees, because I hear about knee pain. It's so common. So one of the best ones that I recommend is a leg extension. So let's all try this, seated. This is where you lift your leg off the ground, but I'm really thinking about these muscles, my quadricep muscles. They are protecting my knees. They're getting strong. They protect all the muscles around the knees. Can you feel those? Yours have probably got nice and strong. Wow, mummy, I can feel. She's got muscles there. She gets very ticklish and shy, but she's doing a double leg extension here, which is great. But you must be doing these for the last 5 years now, which is amazing. So your body will become stronger, yeah? We want to increase our muscle mass for all the important benefits that I always talk about. Another option is to do this, is to maybe move in and out. Now, we have lots of exercises for knee strengthening, but today I want you to either do this, or if you're able to, I want you to think about going by a wall maybe, and we're going to do a little bit of backwards walking, depending on how much space you have, making sure you have no objects. So mummy, you could use the wall. We're going to walk backwards, so I would go maybe this way. So shall we try? Can you fit in here? Walking backwards, if we move the chair slightly forward. There we go. And if you've got a bit of space, this is really great for your knees, yeah? There's a whole thing about knees over toes. So then you turn around and maybe think about walking backwards. Now, I know it feels a little bit different. Now, the way to progress this is to add in some weight. So you could hold some light weights. So I could grab some light water bottles, some dumbbells, and then we start actually making it a little bit harder. But don't do that yet until you've practiced walking back, because I could see lots of you on Zoom and trying this out in your living rooms, in your bedrooms. If you can't do this, the leg extension was your option. How does this feel, Mummy?
Yeah, I do go down the stairs backward.
Down the stairs?
Yeah,
I hope not.
Yeah.
No, that's quite dangerous.
No, that helps.
No, but not the full flight of stairs, just one step.
No,
All of them?
yeah, I bring down my divas like that.
Backwards?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my gosh.
That's better
Okay.
for me.
Really? Okay, well, don't try that at home. I'm going to have to film you doing that. I don't understand how you're quite doing that. But yes, I will probably share that soon. Mummy's already doing some backward walking. How does that feel? It's interesting. If you're in your garden, in your park, and you've got space, if you're on the beach, I was doing it a lot when I was on the beach. It was wonderful to be grounding. My feet were barefoot, and I had space to walk backwards without any obstacles. Give it a little go. It's something different. We're also going to do, so Mummy, you can have a little seat when you're ready. We're going to start using a resistance band. This is great. This is very cheap, available online, but don't worry if you don't have one. Use a pair of old tights. This is what I encouraged in the pandemic. We're going to first carry on with our knees. So if you have a long band, sometimes you have short bands as well. I don't know if I've got one in my studio here to demonstrate. Or if you tie your tights just above your knees, we're going to have a bit of resistance, a bit of tension. Don't worry if you don't have a band. You can just mimic and imagine you've got something that's keeping you sort of where it's tight, hip width apart, yeah? We're going to take a seat to start off with, and we're going to start moving one foot in and out. Now, I want you to think about not just doing it, really focusing that mind to muscle connection. It's very powerful. There's science behind it. So I want you to think, is it tight enough? Maybe adjust it a little bit. Mine's not very tight, so I'm going to hold it here. This is a good one to just keep moving when you're sitting too long. Little exercise snacks through the day. I want you to try and, move for 3 minutes every half an hour to an hour. That's what I've written in my book. That would be the ideal. As effective, if not more effective, than this longer workout that we sometimes can't fit into our busy lives. The way to progress this, if anyone wants a more advanced version, is to stand. And again, you could slightly go in. If you know what I'm doing here, I'm going slightly into that squat position. My knees stay back, my back stays straight, my core is tight, everything is fixed. And then I'm bending my knees a little bit. I'm tapping in and out. Now, obviously, the lower I go, Mummy, do you want to try one or two of these? The lower I go in my squat, where I can see my toes, my back is straight, my core is down. Obviously, the harder it is, because that's really activating all your muscles. How does that feel? Good? Yeah, everyone doing okay? So seated options are there for you. If you don't like this exercise, march on the spot. Do a little bit of shoulder rolls, anything that works for you, leg extensions, and relax. Whew, I'm getting warm. Very good. So we're going to undo this lovely band. Hopefully you haven't done it too tight, or your tights. And we're going to use our band for a little bit of upper body mobility. Mummy, 5 years of shoulder flossing now you have been doing. So this is its own snack in my book. It is probably the one that I recommend everyone. If you've got anyone that is sitting too long, loved ones, children studying, get a band on their desk. We're going to try to do it seated or standing. You're going to hold it quite taut if you're a regular, otherwise nice and loose to begin. You're going to try and bring your arms symmetrically up and over. Now it's hard to keep it straight all the way up and over. I see young people struggling with this because of the rounding, the sitting too long. So bend your elbows. Don't maybe go all the way up and round. If you haven't got a band, please just try and maybe mimic it with arm circles. Inhale, exhale. Really use your breath. We're trying to get this whole ball and socket joint nice and rotated. That full rotation will eventually come, yeah? And to make it harder, you can use the resistance. So hold your hands tighter. Shoulder flossing. Honestly, this is like my daily exercise stack, something I just can't live without, especially when I'm sitting at my desk on my laptop or if I'm using my phone too much. Anyone sitting too long, which is pretty much everyone these days. Can you feel that? Now we've done about 10 or 20. You're probably feeling the lactic acid, a little burning sensation. Obviously ease off, restart, rejoin, have a little shake off if you need to. She's counting, yay, 12. She's like, that's enough. Great work. We are also going to do a little bit for our rotator cuff. So if you have a band, you can hold it. This one's quite interesting. You can try without the band. Elbows are glued in. My desk reset snack, shoulders back and down, fixed spine, core tight. We're then going to try and glue your elbows in. Your forearms stay straight, and you're going to try and keep those elbows glued to your body as you move your forearms out and in. So we're not moving our elbows away from our body. Can everyone see me on Zoom? We're trying to keep that glued in, loosen up the band, and all that's moving, so there's no gap here. All that's moving is my arms. It might not be a full rotation because I can really feel that in my biceps, some people feel it in their upper back, shoulders back and down, whatever works for you here. This is a good one, especially for anyone that may be playing some sports, anyone that is using their arms a lot, lots of chapati making or cooking, that types of things. I can see Taruna Auntie on Zoom smiling at me there. Well done. Give it a go with or without, or you could even hold some tin cans and practice this one. But glue those elbows in and try and increase this rotation over time. Yeah, how does that feel? Let's give it a little shake off. Get your steps in just for 10 seconds. We could get our little cardio snack in, get that heart rate up. You could add your tin cans. And then we're going to go into strength training. This section is probably the most important. There is a study I've always quoted for the last 5 years. 1 minute of exercise over the age of 65 is beneficial to your health. If you could just sprinkle in 1 minute a day, start with that. If you can then sprinkle in 1 minute a few times in the day, exercise snacking, it's so good for you. And there's another study in my book for over 6-year-olds, 2 5-minute strength snacks is going to be really great to improve your muscle health. Even if you can do that twice a week, once a week, please just start strength training. We're starting with press-ups. So if you know what I'm talking about, lots of you on Zoom are moving to your walls, or if you're progressing to your kitchen counter, that's a perfect place where I do press-ups when I'm cooking in the kitchen. A seat option, so mummy's keeping her back lovely and straight, in line with her body. If you are by the wall, you've got a long straight line, you're not hinging at your hips, and you're bending at your elbows, hands are at shoulder height. You inhale as you go towards, exhale as you come away. The seated option, because I do want these workouts in care homes, anyone that may not be able to stand right now, you can press against your thighs, bend your elbows, inhale and exhale, coming forwards, brilliant. Can you all feel that? I want you to try and focus on your upper body muscles, yep. This is all upper body. Have you done 10? 12. Well done, mummy. So to progress, you could push your body a little bit further away from the wall. So your feet would be further away. When you're done, roll out your wrists, maybe march it out. How are we doing? So 10 to 12 press-ups, a little press-up snack. Something I want you to think about taking away today from today's workout. A little bit of homework for everyone. Which exercise do you love? Do you think you could actually commit to maybe once a day? Could it be 10 press-ups? Could it be 10 shoulder flosses? We're going to do a second set. So yes, Andrew, who's one of my regulars, has already gone to the wall. Andrew always has his hands slightly closer, so it's working his triceps, mummy. I don't know if you want to try that. Shall I show you one?
Yeah.
So if you come slightly to the side, normally your hands are here. If you bring them slightly closer together, still maintaining that straight line from your head down to your heels, you can then bring your elbows coming towards you a little bit more. And then you start feeling it on your triceps. So your hands are a little bit closer, the elbows come towards your body. This is quite a progression. So see how that feels, yeah? How's that, mummy? Relax your shoulders as you do it. Good. So keep these shoulders down. They're coming up. Relax your shoulders. Again, you could try narrower. On the seated, you could have your feet closer together, pushing against your thighs. Really push and try and squeeze these muscles. Actually, I can feel these even seated. It's quite a good option. If I can't stand, if I was on meetings, I could actually do a few of these with my camera off and squeeze up. Are we feeling them? Countertop in the kitchen is a brilliant way to progress. Obviously, I do press-ups on the ground, which I demonstrate with videos. There's QR codes in my book straight to the exercises. This is a seated strength snack, but it has a QR code. Do you see that there? So you just take a picture of that. It takes you to a follow along video with all the teaching points. So press ups, you will progress to the ground when you can. We're then going to go into, we've done our king upper body. We're then going to go into our lower body, which you know is my sit and stand. I want you to think about that. Every time you're sitting, could you stand? Could you get up and down? Ideally, if you're able to, I'm going to break it down. So the beginner level is to do a leg extension. If you can't stand, mummy's doing a nice double, add some holds in. Maybe if you want, hold a weight as well. Here, just for a little bit of extra weight, you could hold a weight and coming up and down. Some of you have started, I know, that are doing the sit and stand. So if you want to start and you've done them before, please start. The second option is, if you're holding onto your chair, is an assisted little up and down, just a few inches up and down, but holding onto your chair for support. Your feet are just about shoulder width. Your knees always go out. They don't come in. They're staying in line in the same direction as your toes. I can see my toes. Can you see your toes, mummy? So that means your knees are staying back. There's less load. Even here, this is good engagement before as a little warm up. Then the full sit and stand, you don't have to hold weight, is to come all the way up. Squeeze the glutes and then bend, come all the way down. Go nice and slow, up and down. Squeeze, breathe out. Inhale on the way down. Make sure your knees are going out in line with your toes. I'm holding a little weight. Beginners, you don't need to hold a weight. You just come up maybe in prayer position, maybe 10 of those. I know some of you started early on my Zoom there, so just have a little break. When you start really feeling those last few repetitions, and I want perfect form and technique, when they start getting really challenging, please get a little rest in and then just relax, bring that heart rate down and relax. Let's stop there for a second and march it out, or just have a little breather, because I want to talk you through. Many of you are going to celebrate 5 years of these workouts with me. I can see you on Zoom. Can you believe you've been joining me for nearly 5 years, probably lots of you, from the pandemic? If you've been using the same weight, I want you to think about ways that you can progressively overload, it's called. So that means just progression with strength training. You could use a rucksack. You could add a little bit of weight on your back. I wear a weighted vest sometimes and I add my body weight squats in that way. You could increase the weights that you've got. I mean, obviously, I don't expect people to buy fancy equipment, but different weights of dumbbells. You want to put the heating on? Yes, so let's get a little bit of warmth in here. So have a little think about the weights that you're using, please, because I do want your muscle mass to increase. So I want you to try and build up your strength, but gradually over time, yep? So let's go for another set. So that may encourage you today to do a little bit more in terms of your weight. Do you want to try and hold your 2 pink dumbbells? Do you want to hold both? I was going to get you to try and increase your weight. So I'm going to go for a little heavier weight. Only do this if you've been doing these regularly, yeah? Let's go for 10 more sit and stands. Breathing out and in. Now, sit and stands are a lot easier than me saying do 10 squats. I think it just sounds nice and appealing because when you're by your chair or sofa, you can stand up and down. Obviously, I do squats without the support. I will come all the way down and squeeze back up. Inhale, exhale. Good. Do what you can. Try and go nice and slow on the way down. If you're doing your leg extensions, carry on. For the last 5 or 3, should we lift our hands up over our head, a little shoulder press, so it's more of a full body move. Can you count down? 4, good. Even if you're here, 3, so seated, I could add a shoulder press. Lovely. 2, lift your trophies, you're all amazing. And last one, all the way up. Are you warmer, mummy? Yay, well done, everyone. So lots of leg strength there, which is really important. We are trying to mimic being able to get up out of our chair, out of the toilet, out of the car, off your beds, all these things that we take for granted. I want everyone over the age of 30 to be doing strength training. You are now going to grab some light weights. So tin cans are perfect. These are just some really nice little water bottles that I found that are nice and safe. They're not glass. Or you could use some light dumbbells. Seated or standing, you're going to try and do, let's go for 10 side raises. So we're going to work our shoulders, our upper back. We're going to bring the arms up into a lateral raise, palms facing down. A little hold is hard, and then slow it down. Let's use our breathing. Breathe out. Can we hold for a second or 2? And slow it down. If you find the hold hard, please just work to whatever feels good for you. Out and down. Now use your breath. Breathing out on the hard part. Inhale as you come down. Beautiful work, everyone. Can you smile? I want you to know that you are amazing. If you're watching Zoom, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you are, just join us. Even if it's for a minute, it all counts. And you are investing in your physical health, your mental health, you're future-proofing your bodies. We are reducing risks of so many chronic illnesses. How many have we done, Mummy?
6.
Lovely, I can feel these already. We're adding holds in. Can everyone feel that? Relax your shoulders if you need a little roll in between. Add a little hold for a challenge and release it down. Do it without the hold if it's too difficult. You know I'm an ambassador for Diabetes UK, for Alzheimer's Society, for the Wellbeing of Women charity, and for Menopause Mandate. These are all areas that exercise, movement, lifestyle changes can really help us with. So I'm very, very passionate. Last one, are we on, Mummy? Yes?
Yeah.
Ooh, did you feel that, everyone? Well done. I know some of you challenge yourself there on Zoom because we added in holds. Some of you were holding quite big weights. Let's just circle out the arms. Maybe give it a little shake. We like a little bit of tapping, don't we? Taruna Auntie on Zoom. We like a little bit of tapping, which is quite nice. Just maybe a little bit of self-care, a little bit of self-love. I'm getting my steps in. Tap your collarbone. You can even do a little tap over your face, your eyebrows. Little bit of touch feels good, right? Little bit here, a little bit under your armpits, so for your lymph nodes. A little bit of tapping, a little bit of a shake. So we are going to go, final exercise for our core is going to be opening, working our core, but we're going to try and hold our arms up in the air. If you're standing, this is balance work, so please be careful. We're going to lift one knee up and down. Now, I did do that slowly on purpose because what I want you to think about is keeping this whole core tight and really lifting that knee. You know, we often do it with our hands here, so if that feels better, a high knee, that's fine. I want you to think about your core, lifting that knee up. So these lower abdominals, it's really quite hard to reach and quite a troublesome area for a lot of women, especially in menopause. So we could do this seated. The weight is an option. Your arms might be tired. You might just want to hold your arms up. We then could do the high knee seated, or if you're able to balance, this is quite advanced, lifting up and down. But can you think about your stomach staying really tight, your belly button towards your spine? Don't worry if you don't like this, mummy, you could just have your hands in front of your belly button and just give yourself a high five. Stomach tight, core engaged. How does this feel? Can you feel this? Are you visualizing your stomach area, lifting that heavy leg up? So up and down, we're doing it nice and slow, controlled and relaxed. So something new. So this is actually an overhead static hold. This is working your shoulder strength. You're then lifting your legs up, using your core muscles, and your heart rate has probably gone up a little bit. So quite a really good, powerful exercise. That could be your new exercise snack, mummy. You could try that, right? In your daily morning exercise that she does every day, the little snack. We're working our heart. This is going to feel a little bit more challenging now as a finale because we are working, every workout I do is different. The order's different, the exercises are different. I try and bring something new in. We're working our little cardio snack at the end. So I'm giving you a little breather. To start off with, we are all going to go swimming. Now, swimming was one of the things in the pandemic 5 years ago when I started these workouts. Then they got featured, you know, in TV, radio, media, newspapers, magazines. I used to always say, let's all go virtual swimming because swimming is a great form of cardio. And actually, if you can visualize us all being in the ocean with the sun on your back, sometimes it will bring up some lovely memories from your childhood or your holidays. You could add in some tin cans if you wanted. And we could also add in some heel raises if you're seated. So you could literally lift your heels, get the benefit for your blood sugar levels with those heel raises. Or you could just do a little swim and a little walk, little bit breaststroke. Can you feel it now? Because we've done a lot with our arm muscles. I can feel it today. Drop the weights if you need to. Well done. Anyone joining us for a little swim? Breathing in and out. Let's go for 5. Let's count down together. Everyone, 4. Count out loud like I can hear you. 3. Come on, mummy, help me. 2 and 1. Yes, well done. How was your little swim there? You are a Mombasa girl, so
Good.
did it feel good?
Yes.
Have a little shake, have a rest. So we bring our heart way up, we then bring it down. It's like interval training, really good for your cardiovascular health, for your stamina, your fitness. Mummy's favorite cardio move, which is your star jump. Say it, because she's a star. She is a star. Let's do just 20 seconds of star jumps. I'm going to show you the low impact version. No actual jumping in this workout. You're going to give yourselves a clap, standing or seated, single leg or double leg. I love these because I want you to give yourselves a clap. You are all amazing. Just join us for 20 seconds. You could go faster or you could take it nice and slow. The clap gives you full range of movement in your arms. We're working laterally with the step. A bit of coordination to keep our brains fit, to reduce our risks of things like dementia and Alzheimer's. Changes in your brain start in midlife. Let's go for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. How are you?
30.
You did 30. Well done. High five. Well, she's smiling, and so is everyone on my Zoom community. I can see you all smiling. That is the power of exercise. How are we all feeling? I'm bringing you down, little heart rate, deep breaths. We're doing the last one, you know, which is my favorite. Which one is that? Everyone can guess? With a little bit of boxing. So we do a bit of shadow boxing. It's a great stress reliever. You could use your tin cans. This is something I do when the kettle is boiling. Whenever the vegetables are steaming, I literally add in marching on the spot, seated or standing, with or without some weights. We're just going to do another 15 seconds. But this is your finale. I want you to punch out all your worries, your stress, your tension. Get rid of it all here. Keep going. Punch it out. Let's count down. 8, 7. Mummy, help me count down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! I picked some heavier weights and that felt so good. Give yourselves a clap. Really, really good. I want you to now make sure you stay for the most important part, which is the stretch. And this is really good for your brain health as well, because we're going to bring in that oxygen to our brains, our muscles, our brain health. We've worked throughout with all the coordinations that I've worked on with you today. You're going to take a seat because you've worked really hard. Bring that heart rate down because mine is high. How are you feeling?
Good.
Brilliant. So that's all I want. Feel good if you can. You are going to have one leg out in front of you. Try and keep it nice and straight. Flex your toes. Now this stretch is so important, so please don't skip it. Lifting your arms up. We're then going to bring our chest towards our thigh. You could place your hand on your thigh here. You could place it on your shin. Or you could try and reach forward for your toes if you've got that flexibility, but keep the legs straight and just breathe. I want you to relax your head, neck and shoulders. Take 2 or 3 really deep breaths like we did at the beginning. And this is going to help reduce risks of injuries, to lengthen the muscles out. This is a form of self-care for me because it's a moment to be present, to really focus on my amazing body and thank it for everything it's done in this session. Roll up and relax. This is a great stretch for all the muscles that we've worked. So even if you could add in a little stretch snack as your homework this week, I would love you to do this when you're sitting on the sofa, when you're at your desk and you've got a moment just to give your body a little stretch. We hear so much about neck, back pain. This is a nice full body stretch here, but you're going to really feel it on the backs of your legs. If your leg is straight, toes are flexed, placing your hands wherever you can. Good, mummy. Relax your head, neck and shoulders. Deep breath. One more in and out, and then slowly roll up the spine. How are we feeling? Good. We're going to open out our chest. We've done a lot of upper body today. So we're going to put our hands in the middle of our back. Try and bring your elbows towards you. Good. So you're opening out your chest, your pectoral muscles, trying to prevent this rounding of the spine that I see in youngsters using phones and technology and all of us sitting too long. So you could just add this in, and then maybe you could add a little yes with your head, a yes to say, really well done. Yes to my amazing body, but a nice little neck stretch up and down and release. Good. I feel like we should just turn the head left to right. Maybe hold it in both directions. Just a little release. Placing one hand on your opposite ear will give our necks a little stretch. Relax the other shoulder down and just try and bring that ear towards your bent arm. Maybe you can feel a nice stretch on the other side from your ear down that relaxed shoulder. You could place that hand behind your back and maybe just turn your head. Just see where it feels good. I can really feel that here. Can you feel that, Mummy?
Yeah,
So try and stay, so you're not leaning, you're just going to stay nice and straight, and then you're just getting this release. So you can put this arm here, so you're just trying to feel it here more than the side. Can you feel that? The more you pull your ear towards you.
Yeah.
And relax. Good. And then other side over here. So I'm not moving my torso, I'm just relaxing the shoulder. I'm feeling it quite an isolated stretch, but these stretches you want to hold for a good 10 to 15 seconds, even more if we had a bit more time. There are stretch snacks in my book, loads of them, and all the science behind it. We're also going to do that side stretch because I could see Mummy would like a little side stretch. So let's all bring our left arm up and over, seated or standing. Let the right arm just travel down your leg or the side of your chair. Give me a little virtual wave because I can feel the virtual energy. I can see some of you on Zoom. Can you feel a nice side stretch? Other side, up and over. Really good work today. Well done. I hope you enjoy these sessions. I really want to get these out to help as many people as possible. So do share them with a friend. And then obviously we have our feel good hug. It's like you're seated or standing cat-cow that I invented in the pandemic when we couldn't hug each other. So we are going to open out our arms, take a positive inhale, arch your back, lift through your chin, and I want you to give yourself first a hug by rounding your back, opening out the vertebra, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone under. Give yourself a little bit of self-love. Say something lovely to yourself, like, I am amazing, well done to my body for whatever it managed to do today. If you've got a loved one or someone near you, surprise them with a feel-good hug. Mummy gets a big one because she's done 5 years of these workouts, Nisha. Well done.
Well done to you.
And so many people, even the other night I was out, someone came up to me and said, your mother-in-law and you have helped my mum so much. I've been using your workouts since the start of the pandemic. It means the world. We've had incredible feedback of people's health conditions either being reversed or slowed down. Just try and share this with someone. That would really make our day and make the last 5 years so worthwhile. But I'm blessed to have her because you inspire so many people. They can see a 77-year-old that has had knee issues a year ago. You were struggling to walk, and now she, touch wood, has done so well with her mindset and her determination. So thank you. I feel like I should give you a big clap today. We've finished with our Feel Good finish. It's got its own little special snack, a nice finale for all my Feel Good sessions. Seated or standing, you're going to take a nice big positive inhale. As you lift your arms up, fill yourself with positivity, good thoughts, and then exhale any negativity, tension, anxiety all away as those arms come down. Could you do one in Gujarati for us, Mummy?
અંદર શ્વાસ લ્યો, બધા શુભ વિચારો અંદર લઈ જાઓ. બારે શ્વાસ કાઢો, બધા અશુભ વિચારો બારે કાઢો.
A little reminder that we have workouts that we've translated in Gujarati for the South Asian community on my YouTube, so please share them if it can help anyone. One final feel good finish. This time capture that positivity, hands at the top in prayer position, bringing that down to your heart center. Take a moment to bow, to thank your bodies, to give yourselves a little clap. Thank you for joining us today. Please share these workouts with anyone they can help. I have saved it on my Instagram. There's hundreds saved on YouTube. For the Zoom link, just head over to my website, sign up to the free newsletter. Mummy, any final thoughts today? Would you like to share how anything's helped you? She's getting...
Yeah, we thank Lavina for helping us all.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love doing these sessions. They're the most rewarding, especially when I see people live with me on Zoom, because every one of you on Zoom has inspired me to hopefully be like you one day, where I can hopefully keep moving. So I thank you all for joining. I'm going to save these workouts and I'm going to talk to my amazing Zoom community now. We will see you next Friday at 10 o'clock on YouTube or on Zoom. Thank you so much, YouTube. Wow, this is what my mum needs. Is this a pre-record? No, there is a saved version on YouTube. Say bye, Mum.